Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, double line to Apostle GMS. This is Amna Allah coming at you another video. And in this video, I'm going to focus on the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 37. You know, about marking the perfect man. Now, obviously, nobody is perfect. Look at the scripture now real quick. Luke 18:19. And Yahweh Shah said unto him, Why callest thou me good? None is good save one, that is the Most High. So the Most High is the only one that's good, or the only one that's perfect. Alright? So now let's go back. So we know that only the Most High is good or perfect. So when it says mark the perfect man, it's talking about a man on earth that's doing what the scriptures say do to the best of their ability. A man that's a positive example. Obviously none of us is perfect, and we all have our shortcomings. So it says, mark the perfect man and behold the upright. Somebody that's upright in the truth, upright in faith. You know, a brother that's keeping the Lord's statutes and commandments to the best of his ability, that's conducting himself in a manner in which he should, according to the scriptures. You know, okay, I see this brother says this, and he's doing exactly what he says. What the scriptures say. He's telling me I should be doing this, but he's doing the same thing. He's saying, oh, if you know, make a mistake, you gotta own up to your faults. Oh, but I seen this brother, he do the same thing. That's a perfect man. A man that's doing what the scriptures say do to the best of his ability. And you could look at him as an example. Alright? Does his lessons, come out to camp, teach in the spirit, you know, mark the perfect man and behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace, right? For the end of that man is peace. Because that's the ways of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah leads to peace. Because a man that's like that tends to not get itself in certain types of confrontations, certain types of situations that doesn't bring about peace. You know? He sees the trap and walks around it. So for the end of that man is peace. It's not turmoil if you follow that man's ways. Alright? But the transgressor shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. See? So the perfect man in him is peace, but the wicked gonna be cut off. See that? But the salvation of the righteous is of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. That's the perfect man. He is their strength in the time of trouble. Alright? And Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. And ultimately, that's why the end of that man is peace. Because if you mark that man as an example, the end of that man is peace. Because why? It leads to salvation. You know? You got certain brothers that got certain strengths, that got certain weaknesses. You know, due to your experience in the truth, throughout the time you've been in it, you learn these different things. And you learn your strengths and your weaknesses. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 17. Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk, so as ye have us for an example. That Acts 7:16. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule, let us mind the same thing. Brethren, be followers together of me, mark them which also walk, as ye have us for an example. So the Apostle Paul is saying, be followers together of me. Imitate what it is that I do. Let me know the Apostle Paul, before Yahweh Shah had revealed himself to him, the Apostle Paul was a murderer. He had killed those that believed in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. But the Apostle Paul had changed his ways and became a devout servant of the Lord and did greater acts than the disciples themselves. And he's saying, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which also walk, so as ye have us for an example. So don't just be followers of me, but be followers of others who also walk righteously for an example. So when you look at different brothers in the camps, apostles, elders, different brothers in the camps, you see certain things, brothers diligence, brothers this, brothers that, and you got to mark them. That's how you improve. Because you can know 1,000 scriptures, but if you're not living by them, then it doesn't really matter. Like the saying goes, knowing is half the battle. You can know it, but are you living it? This is the book of Hebrews 13:7. Brethren, remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of the Most High. So those that taught you this truth. The apostles, elders, the brothers in the truth that you learned from, right? Who have spoken unto you the word of the Most High, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation. So you got to follow them. Whose faith follow, you got to follow their ways, considering the end of their conversation. So if these men are living righteously, then you got to follow their ways. You got to consider the end of the conversation. You got to consider what type of reward they're going to get for maintaining their faith. So look at what it is that they're doing. Imitate what they're doing. Consider the end of their conversation. And if you're considering the end of their conversation, and the end of their conversation is salvation, and you follow them, you mark them, you imitate what it is that they do, then guess what? You'll receive the end of their conversation as you'll receive what they'll receive at the end of their conversation, which is salvation, because you're following a person that conducts themselves righteously. So if they'll receive salvation and you follow their ways, you'll receive it too. If you're a part of the elect, of course, which only the elect are going to do these things. 2 Thessalonians 3:7. For yourselves know ye ought to follow us, for we behave not ourselves disorderly among you. So the Apostle Paul saying we didn't behave ourselves disorderly among you. Neither did we eat any man's bread for naught. So we didn't eat food from anybody for free, but wrought with labor and travail. But they worked night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you. So he said, we're going to work so that we can provide for ourselves, so that we won't be chargeable unto any of y'all, so that we won't be a burden unto y'all. You're just not going to go and just eat, or for your eat your food without, eat your food for free, because that could become burdensome. Imagine if you're going to somebody's house and you're just eating their food all up. Not because we have not power, not because we don't got the power to, because the Apostle Paul had taught them the truth. And being an elder, remember the Apostle Paul did say, muzzle not the ox. The scripture said in Deuteronomy, but also the Apostle Paul quoted it, said, muzzle not the ox that treadeth the corn. In other words, don't put a muzzle on the ox that's treading the wheat, because the ox should be able to eat while it's conducting themselves in that labor. So if the Apostle Paul is giving you spiritual things, he's supposed to receive carnal things. Meaning if he's teaching you this truth, he's supposed to receive some form of compensation. But guess what? The Apostle Paul said, I'm not going to be chargeable with any of y'all. I'm going to work night and day in travail. I'm going to work. Why? Not because we have not power, not because you don't got the power to actually reap financial benefits from y'all and to get different things from y'all, as he should, because he's an elder. He taught them they are supposed to look out for him. So he's saying not because we have not power, because they do got the power, right? Because the Apostle Paul had people that followed him, Timothy and so on and so forth. Not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us, but to make an example unto you to follow us. So they could have reaped the benefits of the churches, of the believers. But he said, I had the power to do so, but I'm not going to do that. Rather, I'll work to be an example unto you to follow us, to show you. So he said, I'm going to be an example. Because what the next scripture say? For when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any man would not work, neither should he eat. So if any man don't eat, don't work, he's not supposed to be able to eat at the bread of the churches. So you're not supposed to just be sitting around in your behind trying to get money from guys. You're not supposed to do that. You know, you're supposed to work. But that's an example to follow. See, I went through all of the scriptures just to give you this particular example. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna say, "Oh, praise Yahweh Shem Shai," and you're supposed to follow that. I remember years ago when brothers first came into truth, brothers was teenagers, and Apostle Tahal put up a work program, and brothers had to go and get jobs. You know. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna say, "Oh, praise Yahweh Shem Shai." That belongs to Apostle GMS. I hope you learned something. Shalom.